Welcome back everyone to a daunting return Ahsoka Watch Party. Yes, Ahsoka is a very good Star Wars show and captures the feel better than anything else so far, but it consistently falls short of greatness and I think will ultimately not amount to much in the long run.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Like I said, this show is best at recreating that Star Wars feel. Otherwise, not much was actually of importance here. In fact, I suspect this scene only existed because Rosario Dawson had a contract guarantee to be in all 8 episodes. Anyway, after a lot of talk and altering of deals, poor Sabine, they never learn. Everyone winds up on the planet and they meet the Night Sisters or whatever. These women are magic users of some kind that have all sorts of power. Okay, I don't really understand fully what or how magic works into the universe. Like, I can understand in another galaxy people use the Force, but don't actually call it the Force. Maybe here they call it magic. The point being, while in this galaxy it has a very different flavor, it is ultimately a manifestation of the same power. Except that doesn't seem to be completely the case. There are differences between them. For one, apparently they have the power to make zombie warriors. Now I know this is something Palpatine taunted Anakin with. I'm not really sure it was ever entirely clear that power really existed, but instead a way of gaining control over Anakin. But whatever dark power Palpatine was referring to, it surely didn't exist in the way it does here. We'll come back to the zombie soldiers in a minute. And let me get out ahead of the criticism, just because these witches appeared in a bunch of comics and Rebels and other stuff doesn't mean it suddenly all makes sense. It's still a bad idea and a clear result of what happens when writers are haphazard with their creative ideas in an ever-expanding universe. The Force doesn't mean as much if they just continue to create new abilities that are just as or even more powerful. So Thrawn shows up and everyone is like, there's a lot of you. I mean, he's definitely overweight for a soldier. I made a groundbreaking video on that already. Be sure to check it out. Another thing that annoyed me about Thrawn was actually his entrance. Apparently all the troops are shouting Thrawn for some reason. Why, I don't know. I didn't even know that until I turned on the subtitles. I feel like this intro should have been more grand than what it was. Now, the general ideas of Thrawn are good even though the specific story beats don't make any sense. Why is Ezra still alive if he's Thrawn's enemy? He couldn't find him in all these years? Okay, whatever. My favorite Thrawn line is when Sabine is unsure why he's letting her go.
You helped my cause. Now I shall help yours.
Okay, that is one piece of the Thrawn I really like. It's that there is this deep down honor. He could just kill her, but he has too much honor for that. There is something alluring to the idea of villains having honor, and it's not just for convenient plot points. After Sabine is gone, he is fine with Baylan and Shin going after her, because he may have honor, but he's still not a good guy. I also think there could have been a little bit more makeup on Thrawn. He looks too much like just a blue human, specifically a blue Elon Musk. He doesn't have to be completely out there alien, but he would benefit from a more alien look. Ultimately, the jury's still out on Thrawn. I would like for him to be a masterpiece of the Star Wars universe, but in order to write massive intelligence, you must first be intelligent yourself. We'll see if Dave Filoni is up to the task. Now back to Baylan and Shin. Holy smokes, they are the best part of the show. Their way is interesting. She trains as his apprentice, but he scorns the Jedi. He talks about the Jedi if it was in a bad relationship. There were definitely some good things, stuff he really liked, but there were other parts. The weakness in this case that he couldn't stand. He also seems to scorn Ezra as he was trained after the Jedi Temple fell. It implies he's encountered other half-trained Jedi after Order 66 and has a very bad impression of them. It's very half-weight, and clearly there is more to learn. There is a lot about them both, and clearly there is more to learn. Unfortunately, there's only 2 episodes left, so there probably won't be much. I have a theory for Shin, which maybe I'll get into in another video. Either way, they are great in between of the dark and light side. They seem to be after their own goals and are incredibly powerful. I also like how physically they are complete opposites, yet both wield great power with the Force. He's big and imposing, like a knight of legends. She's slender and small, like an assassin you never saw coming. Such a shame Ray Stevenson is no longer with us, as he could have been a very interesting character to follow in the future. We'll see what they do. Anyway, Sabine's journey to find Ezra is probably the dumbest part of the episode. First off, she's ambushed. I thought this fight was the stupidest thing ever, but no one's really talked about it. They're shooting at her, but she's invincible because of plot. I mean Mandalorian armor. Then at some point they rush her, but don't physically keep her down and allow her to pull out her lightsaber. Now the dumbest part of the fight by far is right here. She's wrestling this guy and gets him down, just as another guy pops up ready to shoot her, right in her impenetrable armor. But it's all over as another guy's coming up right behind her, but lo! He actually runs past her and turns to fight her head on. Look at that again. He can just smash the back of her head, but instead runs right past her and turns around to face her head on. This is so bad. How do people just accept this? Come on now.
You want a fair fight? Dream on. You can't always think your enemies are gonna play by the rules. What if that baseball was your enemy's friend coming at you from behind? You have to be prepared for everything.
Yeah, apparently she didn't need that lesson from Johnny, because that wasn't an issue in this universe. One thing you can be sure of, these guys are not Cobra Kai. And then as the fight continues, this guy decided to never shoot again. They stand around and let her turn on her lightsaber, and then they all rush up to her to get killed. Luckily for her, the lightsaber against random bad guys is deadly. Like you remember just a few days ago, she was run through a lightsaber herself and lived somehow. After the fight, she runs into these things called the Noti, one of which just happens to have known Ezra and has a rebel symbol. I know coincidence is a thing in every story, but wow, that is some random dumb luck. Anyway, the Noti seem to be the Star Wars version of the Munchkins from Wizard of Oz. Almost point to point, they feel the same. Hey, there's a lot of them. They take off. You almost wonder why aren't they singing, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow, follow, follow. You get the idea. Oh, and the howler she rides feels so much like a horse-sized Niffler from Harry Potter. The fact that its name Howler is also a Harry Potter term seriously makes me think it was a subtle nod by the creators. I mean, okay, whatever. I get that Star Wars has always had unique animals and stuff, and I think it's good the show includes these. I'm just wondering if we're running out of good ideas. I mean, at least she wasn't after blue milk or anything. Now, I know there's a lot of people who felt this reunion between Sabine and Ezra was underwhelming. I'll be a little contrarian and say I think it was pretty good. We already had the massive intro of Thrawn, so it makes sense to twist it up a little bit. It was fun and a decent introduction to the character. Now granted, if you didn't watch Rebels, and I only watched the first couple episodes, you don't know their relationship or anything, but I guess that's the price for watching Star Wars these days. The episode ends with Thrawn learning that Ahsoka is coming for them, because clearly she is the only Jedi in the galaxy, not, Luke Skywalker. He will learn everything about her. He also seeks more magic from the witches, because that's a thing. He said he requires their magic again, the key phrase there being again. They helped him before. The general belief is that the witches revived all or some of the stormtroopers. That is to say, many of these are undead zombies. I find that a little unsettling. I don't really want zombies in my Star Wars. I also find it unoriginal. You're telling me we have another show with the Night King leading an army of the dead south of the wall? Except now it's a Grand Admiral leading an army of dead south from the galaxy's edge. Yeah, I know Game of Thrones dropped the ball with this story, but it's not up to Star Wars to fix it. Jeez. So the show is done well, but unless there's some significant turnaround in the final 2 episodes, it will never be truly great. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.